the TLDR version of the Batcherones, right? So Delve League looks really hype. Hopefully it can bring the somewhat slower PoE, like the players who like the somewhat slower PoE a bit more. You know, the super clear speed meta is hopefully not the thing that is gonna get the furthest in the, you know, in the delves, I would assume. It's still gonna be the thing for farming maps though, and it's probably gonna be the thing for farming low to mid tier delves, but when we're going to actually like pushing deep down in the delve ladder, then probably not, hopefully. We don't know how the delve scaling goes though. Are they gonna scale the HP of the mobs? How is the damage of the mobs gonna be scaled? If they're just scaling the life of the monsters, then Impulsa, etc. could probably be pretty strong there. But if they're scaling it like monsters take less damage, then they are equally making them stronger against every kind of build, right? So that's what I hope that they're gonna do it. Yeah. New skills, most of them look kinda cool, but we really can't tell before we get the numbers. Like, we don't know how good they are before we actually can test them a bit in the POB and in game, right? How's gonna be the new AI on the new herald and the how's the dumb blow? Like the herald, sorry, there's two different new heralds, right? The purity and then the agony. So how's the AI of the Scorpion? Will increasing like minion speed make the AI of Thrall a lot better? Same with purities, right? You know, are they gonna be targetable? Mainly the agony, because the Herald of Agony is like 10% more poison damage or something like that, and gives you poison chance. So if the Scorpion is targetable, this means that the build that doesn't want to do anything with it, just to have the more poison damage and poison chance, is actually gonna be quite scared of shit like Chain, right? And now that it's been, now it targets, like let's say that something targets you, like you were using a golem, you run into it, and you just got dumpster because you run to your minion when it was targeted. So are they gonna make it so that it's actually you want to scale it as a minion, or can you just use the agony for the more poison damage and chance? The consecrated path, the flicker variant. Actually, I'm gonna show it quick with the Ziggy video. What it looks like. It's here in the end. So this is it. So it has an AoE teleport skill that doesn't require like frenzies, like like flicker. You can't use multi-strike on it, and it creates a consecrated crown, so it could be just strictly better than a flicker strike eventually, with enough scaling. Who knows? It's definitely easier to use, because there's no gate to actually using it, because if you want to use flicker strike, you need some way of maintaining flicker charge, and frenzy charges, right? You don't need melee splash on it, but that's also nice. I'm personally not a huge fan of the new poison / chaos team bow skills, but mechanically they look kinda interesting. The Scourge arrow, it has to do a lot of damage, and it has to have a very good AoE clear for it to be used. The new wall animate, wall ancestor warchief. It's hard to see that being used as a back in the day, people like before wall double strike, people just used it as like a 4-link or something like that, right? I don't really see this taking over the wall double strike, but if you have a 1 slot for the more multiplier from the totem and then this totem, I don't know, maybe you can just slap them in boss fights and get some extra more multiplier, who knows? For wall, like a Ancestor Warchief totem build though, this seems pretty nice. The Withering, I remember the name of it. It's like Withering something. Withering Touch. It's pretty interesting because it allows you to give minions a way to stack Wither, for example, Wither stacks, for example, or you can use it yourself as a support or something like that. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. There's some potential utility to be there. Well, on the rework skills, Dumblow, it looks better, at least from the server side point of view. You know, not having a gazillion minions completely kill your instances and the GGG servers is kind of good. Means that they should do way more damage because you're limited now to the number as well. But we don't really know, like, what's the AI? Do you need to scale up a crazy amount of minion speed to make them not feel bad or something like that? Casticaro looks really nice. Like, I think the like a new level 20 is basically like the old level 28 gem when it comes to the damage from the dot. So that's pretty massive buff. The you can AoE overlap with the explosion. So who knows? Maybe it's gonna be nice. Maybe some poison stacking with the overlaps, you know. And they changed physical projectile attack damage support to be, I think it's called Vizier Strike or something like that now. And that can roll in Elder Bows. So now you could have a +3 7-link Casticaro bows, if that's gonna change, and I would assume it will. So this here looks pretty fucking rad. Static Strike is a big question mark. We just know that you hit a monster, you get like this duration that just beams mobs. I guess I need to show this now. Is this gonna be the new Static Strike? They hit and then you like see those beams going all over, right? The more stacks you get, the faster the beam hit. And at high levels, I think you can hit up to 6 or something like that. We don't know. Oh, new jewel. The new jewel. This jewel here, allocated small passive skills in radius, grant nothing, grants all bonuses of unallocated small passive skills in radius. It's pretty fucking pogchamps. Okay, so what it does, it's a small radius, right? So let's think that this is the jewel. So if I were in this exact situation to have the spell damage nodes here and then put it here, I wouldn't gain the benefit from these anymore. But I would gain the benefit from this. I would get these. I would get the int and the dex here. I would get 8% life with 10 life gain on kill. I would get the 9 attack speed here, 4 attack speed dex, the crit multi, movement speed. Pretty nice. You could slap it here to get some block as like a glad. If you come glad and you come from here, you could take it, get some duration, totem shit. There's some interesting stuff in there. But now for the big thing is Might of the Meek has increased the effect of non-keystone passive skills in radius. So if you look at here, this is 15% crit multi. If I put Meek here, now it's 22%. If I were to put another Meek here, it affects the 2 first here, all of the attack speed ones. It affects these life nodes. This Meek here affects these life nodes. So these 3 will become, so these 3 life nodes with double Meek here will become 10%, then these are 7, and these are 7 as well. And if you have the Meek here, these are going to be 30 crit multi, these 2. These are going to be 6% attack speed, and this is going to be 8. And these are going to be crazy movement speed, so you get a lot of cast speed. These are going to be 16% mana. There's a lot of really GG stuff you can put in there. Every single crit attack or crit spellcaster build that doesn't need crazy amount of flat damage from Abyss Jewels that pass through the Harrier and have this jewel, the new jewel is probably best in slot. Unless you're ES build. But for life builds, you get 8 life. Unless you're batting from here and you really wanted to take hard kill, then maybe not. But especially if you come from here, you get for spellcasters, you get a lot of cast speed here. The crit multi alone is like, even if you don't have a meek, this jewel here is crazy. Movement speed, attack speed or spell damage, cast speed and crit multi in life. This is really nice. The another place where you could maybe use it is here. You would get like 10% dodge. You don't get these, so that's -8 projectile damage, but you would get, that's 40, so you would get like 32, 1 pierce. You could maybe use it there, I don't know. Probably not, but it's a potential case. But Meek plus the new jewel here looks pretty damn nice. Even without Meek. Then the new amulet. This we believe that there's probably gonna be hatred and anger version as well are really strong. Getting a free reservation for an aura is really strong. Like these are really damn nice. Probably gonna be for hatred it would be like dex, for the anger it would probably be strength. They're really strong. The new helm. I don't know if I have a picture of the helm here. Can go here, get it. Is pretty damn nice, even if it's just used for Animate Guardian. I think it's called this. Yeah. This is probably the best installed Animate Guardian weapon, like helm, sorry. So that's really nice. The new gloves. These gloves can be potentially insane for the right build. Really damn nice. If you get some life leech going on, this looks like a nice hybrid potential there. Well, the accuracy gloves, these give your SRS 2k accuracy basically, with the normal like skill tree pathing there. This is really strong. And I guess for even a normal caster build, the Arcane Church is not bad. New crafting methods. The wording on the new currency items is the same as alchemy and chaos orbs, and those, well, the chaos in this case, works with meta mods. So there could be something, most likely gonna be something interesting out of there. Like you could if you get a, let's assume that this new Spectre mod is a suffix. You could buy a boots with T1 life, T1 mana, and T1 like movement speed, for example. Then you slap in briefcase cannot be changed, and you chaos it with the more minion mods, and you could get the Spectre mod and some other good shit in there. Want to buy data mines? Thank you for all of the new mods. Can't wait to get the data mine stuff for that. Time for reliquaries, really nice. Getting new, getting the new like the old unique, like unique some of the past leaks. Shimmer Undead, yeah, sure. If you didn't think that an item that gives so absurd amount of damage as Shimmeron shouldn't have an actual downside, I don't know. Let's just move on. It's still good, by the way. Quality of life, stash tab shit. So you can right click the stash tab and it goes to the first one. Really nice. Now we can see the support, like when you hover over to a support gem, it shows what skills it works with. Even modified skills. For example, if you have Righteous Fire with no Arcane Surge linked to it, and you hover over to Swift Affliction, it shows that it doesn't work. But if you link Arcane Surge to it, then it will show that it works. And the same way, if you have an attack skill, for example, Double Strike, and you link Summon Phantasm Kill on it, previously, Chance to Bleed worked with your Double Strike, but now it doesn't, because Chance to Bleed doesn't work with minion skills, and when you add Summon Phantasm Kill to Double Strike, it is now also a minion skill. Which also means that dual modifiers such as gain minion damage if you use the minion skill recently actually work with Double Strike. Oof, pretty cool shit. Shaper animations in maps, so when you're doing Shaper influence maps, they are now faster. Thank you. The minimap / loot builder stuff is pretty damn god tier. Can't wait for the nice clips of people finding some good shit with nice meme sounds. The downscaling system to level help new players. Like, so let's say that I wanted to play with a friend who never played PoE before, without making a new character, so I could maybe show my character to him a bit while being able to play with him. That's pretty nice. Also can't wait to see people get slammed by Brutus in lower prison when they're playing like a squishy MF character and helping their friend. I'm expecting those. Instant skills, I mean, it's under quality of life, but it's also really nice for, I guess it's a balance as well. But yeah, it's really damn nice. Base run, convocation, I'm coming for you. Yeah, spell block did not block the patch notes. Also a massive fail. They said they wanted to make it more accessible, but no, this, I mean, I guess if they said they wanted to make it more accessible for all kind of builds, I guess if it's not accessible, it's equally accessible. I don't know. I'm not sure if the trap read arc nerf was done right. Like if the main issue was damage, arc trap damage, why would you nerf the amount of traps you can trigger with throw speed and the amount of traps? So trap trigger interactions like Tinker Skin, the region from Saboteur got nerfed as well. If the damage wasn't the only one, like only issue, then why did you buff Fire Trap, Lightning Trap, and Explosive Trap while you nerfed the Cluster Trap? I don't know, go figure. They definitely did deserve a nerf, and even after these nerfs, traps are still gonna be fine. Arc Trap is still gonna fucking melt the world. You're fine. I'm just not sure if this was the right way to do it. Mines, I think they were mentioned in the balance manifesto that they are instant now, the mine detonation, so you can move and you don't get the stutter step. Is pretty damn fucking insane, especially for bossing. And the minefield only got a small damage nerf, so if you enjoyed Arc Trap before, you want to get it to keep the deeps, just go mines. Elemental hit nerf, whatever. I think it's like 40% if you use both of the jewels and go off the conversion. I think it's like somewhere from 35 to 45. I guess it depends a bit on your gear as well. But yeah, whatever. It's still insane. There was nice melee range buffs to a lot of skills. Like they gain more radius per level. But why? Let me just show you the we're here. So base explosion radius reduced to 15 from 16. Okay, yeah. Radius now grows more slowly, gaining +1 to radius 1 gem later than previously. This here makes absolutely no sense when you look at the other things. Like here. Following melee skills now gain additional melee range every 7 levels, up to +2 at level 20 and +3 at level 21. So, at level 21, Thunder gains the 7th plus range. And now, you would need 22. I can't comprehend that. I don't understand why they would do that. I hope that this is just a typo, and this is excluding the level 21 gem. But based on how it's written here, it means that you need level 22 Thunder, which requires you to have a +1 levels, wherever you have it linked with level 21 gem to get it. They didn't say general mains are instant in the patch notes anymore, but it's on the balance manifesto though. Maybe they just didn't include it. They didn't mention anything about the time reliquary keys in the patch notes either, so. Okay. Shield charge scaling completely different from Leap and Whirl. Okay. How can I explain this fast without spending 15 minutes? Okay, so right now in the game, the only thing that matters in your weapon is the attack speed, like increased attack speed modifier, right? That's the reason why Bright Peak is the fastest weapon for Leap and Shield charge. Also same for Whirl. Okay, the new wording here is your weapon's base attack time now affects the start and the end. So they made it so that now movement speed and global increased attack speed. So attack speed modifiers you get from skill tree, jewels, or for example rings, gloves, and what's the unique sword that gets you global attack speed per green socket? I don't remember the name. And then prismatic, thank you, prismatic eclipse. And the weapon's base attack time affects the starting animation and the end animation. So the start animation, and then you have the movement speed attack and global attack speed for the actual movement portion, and then you deal a hit and then like the AoE hit in the end. I'll check the helmet in a second. So if this is how it actually is, that means that a weapon that has a base attacks per second at 1.2 with 20% attack speed modifier, which turns the attacks per second into 1.44, is actually now slower than a 1.5 base with 10% attack speed, which is 1.65. Previously, this was far faster than this, but based on the wording here, this is not the case anymore, which is kind of weird, because now they're making faster base weapons better for shield charge. I hope that this is just a typo or I'm misunderstanding it, but yeah. Not happy about this. I'm fine with nerfing the shield charge, but I don't think this is the way to do it. Oh yeah, so this means that a 1.6 base attacks per second foil is actually now faster than Bright Peak. When you corrupt it, like you get a 30% attack speed from an Essence of Seal, and you corrupt it. It's actually gonna be faster than a Bright Peak. For shield charge, if that's the case. Wall skill soul preventions are kinda good. Yeah. That's just so that you can't you don't have permanent uptime on all of them all the time anymore. But at the same time, they nerf Wall Clarity. They also reduced the duration of it, I think. I don't know why. Is Wall Clarity that broken? I don't know. Oh yeah, lightning warp buff doesn't really do much, because no matter how much cast speed or movement speed you get, there is a animation at the end of the lightning warp that is unscalable. It will always play regardless of how fast you do. So that means that it's just, you can't scale it, you can't make it faster. So there's always a cap at how fast you can go with it. And it feels really clunky because of that. The new Flame Dash looks really nice. 2120 Flame Dash is now 1.5 second cooldown instead of 3. They buffed the range of it, which is also nice. Kinetic Blast is still really good for AoE, but the single target is gone. Oh, time for a paint. Okay, so right now, let's say that here's a wall. We have a boss standing to a wall here. This is us. This is me with a Kinetic Blast. I shoot Kinetic Blast there. Okay. So right now, for example, let's just use a number of examples. We got 4 explosions. Like right now, I would hit here the wall, and the projectiles would bounce back. The explosions would bounce back. So I would have 1 explosion here, 3 and 4 like this, and all of them would overlap. Okay. Now they are like evenly. So let's say that you have like whenever you have impact point, like here for example. Now you do like this, and then you have the first one in here, the second one, third one, and the fourth one. Now if there are some of the explosions that cannot be, like there's nothing in where they can land. In this case they are behind a wall. They're just gone. So now the overlapping is less. It makes it more consistent for AoE in outdoor areas, but like kills the shotgunning for bosses. That's how I understand it at least. Okay, Act 6 is a bit less rippy. That's nice. It's nice when you get to Act 6, you just got reduction to your resistances, and then the area has monsters that further reduce your fire resistance. Feels good, man. Feels bad. Okay, then skill tree. The minion kind of shit here are really nice, but at the same time the spiritual aid kind of makes me wonder if the Scourge Claw could get some kind of rework. Maybe change the wolf interaction, make it like domination blow where you have 10% chance to get a wolf when you hit a target, maybe, I don't know, and make them a bit better. Would be cool, because right now any build that gets hit, like let's say I have played a totem build with a 5-point investment, you get 69% global damage, 1% regen. It allows you to get a prefix on gloves for up, I think it's up to 15% or 16% damage, and you can use Bone Helm for another 40% damage. So with this 5-point investment as a totem build here, for example, you just gained now over 100% global damage. So that's, you have to think about this basically like almost like 20% per node. Well, more if we ignore the fact that you have to use a Bone Helm and you give up an affix on gloves, but you get the idea, right? It's a lot of damage. And you can use this for scaling righteous fire damage. You can impulsa explosions, glad explosions, name it. Attack speed here is really nice. Attack speed increases and reductions now affect you. This is really nice. I think you get attack speed. So we have, let's say for a normal like a minion build, you get 4 here. That's 12. If you're Spectre build, then you go here, now you're 20. You go through here, you grab this shit. That's now 27. And if you go here and you grab all of this, so like 31, 35. Now that's 40% attack speed. Usually minion, like summoner builds, don't really get to scale attack speed that much. So this is really nice. It's also nice for casters. If you're a caster coming from here and you take these 3 nodes, some attack speed, And if you're here, let's say you're like playing a totem build. Let's say you're playing a temple totem build, and you go from here, taking these, and here taking these is actually not bad at all. Especially if you go here. So there is there's some interesting scaling you can do with a lot of things. Yep. These nodes don't apply to offerings if you are non-necromancer, right? Yes, the only way to make offerings, you're mostly talking about flesh offering here, is to either be a necromancer or ascendant necromancer, because the only way to give, the only way to make offerings affect you is by having this node. Yeah, you mentioned the prefix and the bone helm. Marker nodes are kind of cool. Yeah, this pathing isn't exactly bad, but I don't know how many want this. This is basically just no mana cost, and then here you have the instant war cries. This is pretty nice for abyssal cry, say, but well, other cries too. But it's in a slightly weird spot, I think. Remains to be seen. I mean, if you're here, you probably just take Unwavering Stance too, then, for a lot of builds who are not stun immune. I would guess. So every melee caster will get the node minion stuff and use minions to protect them. Okay, no. This is increases and reductions. So more minion damage from minion damage support doesn't apply. It's only increased minion damage or reduced minion damage that applies to you. And this is only increase and reductions to minion attack speed. So no cast speed. Minion life doesn't do anything, flat damage to minions doesn't do anything, it's literally just minion damage. Increase the minion damage and increase minion attack speed. Or reductions. I really like the changes on here. These being global damage, getting some minion damage here as well. It's kind of weird that you have global physical damage in the middle here, but overall this is really nice. Let's say you play like, you go here, now you're 3 points from strength, there's elemental damage, global damage, elemental. This is really nice, like this here is really nice. I guess this is kind of cool. You can now go up here, grab this shit, and get into the tree from here instead of come here as well. Arguably, this is a buff of some. A nerf of some, because some builds dedicate the light of the divinity and get out from here, this area in here through that. So, but now it looks kind of nice, and it's definitely better from here. I wish that they gave the same treatment to at least these two nodes to making the global damage. This is kind of feels bad, man. Like, let's say that you want to play an attack build that is MOM. Now, all of this is basically useless. This is useless unless you go ES. Oh, sure. I mean, I guess you get 25 mana regen here, but then nothing else until here. So, while this was a great buff for minion builds, this hurts the unordinary builds a bit. Oh yeah, and Shadow also has global damage here, so I don't get why this couldn't be global. Well, the ascendancy changes. Pathfinder looks kind of cool. Basically unchanged, and they just made the poison 3 here better. When you kill a poison enemy during any flask effect, nearby enemies are poisoned. That's basically like a poison prolif without actually having the prolif crowned, where monsters walk into it and they get poisoned, it's just like nearby. Somebody call Eiriken. We have a new Worm Flask build coming. Maybe getting some nice converted Flame Blast poison stacks. I don't know. Maybe getting some kind of mine poison bow attack skills. I don't know. There's some interesting stuff you could do there. And then you get the virulence buff here, and the chance to do 100% more damage. I'm not a huge fan of basically pigeonholing people into playing ascendancy classes if they want to do something. For example, poison, you're basically just Pathfinder or an assassin. To some extent, you could do like an ascendant too, I guess. Then for the Guardian, basically unchanged. They removed the Warcry shit and gave it to skill tree. These are actually kind of nice. And then we get into skill-specific ascendancy nodes, which is something I kinda don't like. I didn't really like them giving convocation stuff to Necro, the heralds to Elementalist. I'd rather see all of those nodes in skill trees or uniques, whether it be unique jewels, whether it be unique item slots. But I guess that's what we got now. Like they removed the Warcry shit from the Guardian, and now they're on the skill tree. So I don't see why the other stuff couldn't be in the skill tree too. I don't know. Maybe in the future. Map channel changes. I already have a slightly longer video on this, but basically the TLDV for how to progress Atlas is all self-found. It's do whatever you want. Whenever you do a Shaper influence map of any tier, now Zana lets you choose any map from that tier. All you need to do is know the list for hard to obtain maps. There's 2 in tier 2, there's 4 in tier 3, 1 in tier 6 to 11. So you just take that hard to obtain map. So basically there's what, 4 maps that Sana can give? Or 3? Oh wait, 4. 1 in tier 2 and 3 in tier 3. But that doesn't matter, because now at level 4 Zana, you have a 1 chaos origin orb. So you slap a map of tier 3, for example, into the device, and you slap the level 4 Zana mod for any random map of the same tier. You get your completion, boom, done. Horizons are still gonna be better for high-end maps, because it doesn't randomly roll a rare map. You know, you want a good build if you want to progress to the Zana mod, because they're gonna be hitting reflects, you're gonna be hitting no regions, you're gonna be hitting potentially even no leech. So you want a good build if you're trying to min-max that usage. The Shaper Stronghold shit is basically like a mini Elder Loop. Not kinda, but it's like, it's better than the current system when it comes to brute forcing influence in a certain area, but it's worse than the Elder Loop, so that's why I call it like a mini. So it's like from the middle. You can explain in the other video. Now you have a guaranteed Elder Influence initial spawn, so when you complete your T6 map, Shaper Influence 6 map, first time in the league, Elder Influence been spawned there, because that's the quest progress. Now you can brute force where to spawn this, because they changed how the quest works. So whenever you if you have a map, let's say for example I have a tier 5 channel completed in my Atlas, that's my only tier 5 map. When I complete tier 4 Shaper Influence map, the Shaper Influence will go up 1 tier, so it goes to tier 5 map, and if you have a completed map in that tier, it will go there. So that way, if you want to spawn it in Underground Sea, for example, first you want to run Underground Sea to complete it, to be your only T6 on your Atlas, and then you complete the T5 Shaper Influence map. Boom, Shaper Influence spawns in Underground Sea, you do it, and your Elder Influence starts there. It's kind of cool. Previously, it could move around, the influence could move around when you run maps, but now it will stay there until you do it. during the quest state. You can now get the Shaper with just having 5 normal red maps, and then you do the Zana Horizons. That's why you want a good build. Like, so you do one size on your Atlas, for example. You go from here, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are your only normal red maps. Now when you get a T15 map, you slap in the Zana device. Now you will get one of the other T15s. And you just skip all of the progression here, skip all the progression here and here. So all you need to do is progress 1 quadrant. That's massive. Overall, all of the 3.4 is... Atlas is very, very, very easy to do if you have the slightest clue what you're doing. I'm not personally a huge fan of making it this easy, but I think for overall the game it's probably good. Also in trade leagues you no longer have to buy maps if you just want to do the Zana Horizon things. Then you have there's like there's good mods now back in the Zana pool, so this means that you're gonna have a chaos sync. So let's go back to Zana. So we're gonna have, you have Bloodlines, you have the Fortune, you have Beyond. For Soul Self on Essence it's pretty nice. Nemesis, oh, boom, that's 5 chaos every time. You have Harpy. This will be good if the chance to get Harbinger orbs, like shards, is actually good enough, but from what we know from the previous league, where we had a Harby in Zana, it was non-existent, so I don't know about that. When you at level 6 Zana, if you have completed the first 5 memory fragments, so that is your progressed into tier 10 maps, at least in the terms of the fragments, you can now shape a any of the normal tier 1 to tier 5 map into a shaped variant of that. So for example, I could, for 2 chaos, I can change my beach, T1 beach into T6 beach, or I can change my T5 channel into T10 channel. Same way at level 7, if you have, so this is the T15 red map for the Shaper Orb. You can move your, like run your Belfries as a T15 for 6 chaos. And then at level 8, you can do this, you can put any map with 15 chaos, it's now a Elder map. This, I don't think this is that great, unless you really run out of maps. Remains to be seen, but this one here is definitely gonna be used, I feel. At least in trade leagues. Then, well, yeah, if you wanna know anything about PvP, go read the PvP forum sections. Yes, PoE has forums too. Or go ask PT, I guess. So, yeah.